Hi everyone, hope everyone's doing okay. It's been a while. The last time I posted I was looking bright and breezy, saying how well I was doing and that things were improving, etc, etc, and I was excited about posting further videos with all the holistic treatments I've tried, with the ME over the years and the post-COVID long haul symptoms I'm experiencing. So yeah, I was in a really good place and preparing for more posts for you all. Then within 2 days of that, I ended up in hospital. I started having really severe sudden onset headaches. They call them ice pick or thunderclap headaches. Horrendous pain, like nothing I've ever experienced, really scary. Happened on 3 occasions, and on the third occasion the pain just didn't subside. So I ended up having to speak to my GP, who sent me straight to hospital, and I was admitted with suspected bleed on the brain. I'd also had a strange episode a few weeks before that I told the doctors about, and they were worried that it might be a TIA. So I ended up in hospital. So the CT scan was inconclusive, so they said the only way to be sure there was no bleed was to do a lumbar puncture. So I ended up having that done, which was really unpleasant. The actual procedure was really unpleasant. It's a local anaesthetic, but because of my ME, I react quite sensitively to any anaesthetic, even like a dental injection. So that really had an impact on me. Had to lie down for half an hour after it was completed and fell asleep. Then got moved to another ward to await the results. Fortunately, it was clear, no bleed on the brain, which was fantastic news. But that was that. They decided they weren't going to follow anything more up and discharged me. Said they didn't really know what the cause of the headaches were. Could possibly, maybe, probably be some kind of strange migraine. But basically it was now go back to your GP and leave you in their care. So obviously I mentioned about the MRI and the possible TIA, etc. So again, I have to now deal with my GP to get the MRI referral to get that checked out. I've been having tachycardia issues and fluctuating BP, which highlighted whilst I was in hospital. So I've now also got to go for echocardiogram and a 24-hour trace for heart and blood pressure. But the problem was that the aftermath of the lumbar puncture was brutal. I was warned you could get severe headache, but it kicked in within a few hours of the procedure, and I was in a really bad way. I basically couldn't be horizontal without excruciating pain. So spent the next few days confined to bed, having to crawl to the bathroom. Couldn't sit up to eat, had to eat in bed, lay on my side. My husband was working away at the time, so he had to come home from the job to look after me, and then ended up having to take me back with him because I couldn't be left and he needed to return to the project. Fortunately, that's working on a relative's new house, doing renovations. So although the environment wasn't ideal because of the work, I was at least able to go back with him and spent the next 3 weeks there. So I'm now back home. I'm walking wounded, managing to get around upright, which is a relief, sitting up to eat, etc. If I stay upright for too long and don't have regular lie downs horizontal, the pain in my head, I get pain in my neck, and this horrible stiffness kicks back in. So I'm having to be really careful still. It's just going to take time. This is the issue I have having ME, that whatever I have, the average time for somebody to recover from, you can double it, treble it, quadruple it, because it always takes me so much longer to get back to where I need to be. But at least I'm making progress. At least I'm able to move around. I'm far from well, but just about managing to fend for myself. And glad to be back in my home comforts, obviously. It's hard being isolated because we're in more lockdown restrictions for socialising here, so can't see anybody, don't always have the energy to be chatting on the phone to people, so it's quite an isolating existence at the minute. But at least it's only through the week, and you just do what you've got to do, don't you? You just dig deep and manage, doing lots of Reiki, self-Reiki and meditation. Can't do any yoga or anything like that at the minute. I'm just still too weak and poorly and want to be careful because of the headache and neck issues. So I'm just resting and more resting in the garden in the sunshine when I can. But even that's been a bridge too far. The increased temperatures had made me breathless again. So a lot of the post-COVID symptoms were worsening and have been worsening. This week I have been so toxic, riddled with pain, so nauseous, just generally feeling really rough again. But as my last post showed, I got back to a good place and I was making good progress with the COVID and dealing with my ME. This is just another blip, just another obstacle, just another element of this mad roller coaster that I've been on. It's been 6 months now, post-COVID. Still having all the weird and wonderful symptoms, like I say, waiting on investigations now to look into some of those elements, which is good. So just trying to dig deep and keep going, really. So I've added some links to my previous 2 videos for some of the places holistically that I've had great benefit from. So you can check out those below. So apologies that I've not been able to get on and start this new chapter of posting around about the various treatments and approaches and dietary changes, etc., that I've implemented over the last 24 years and I'm also doing for long haul COVID. I will get to do that. Just need to get a little bit stronger and recover from this, and hopefully there won't be anything else thrown in my way to hinder the progress now. Say 6 months on and it's tough, it's hard to just be ill for this long, notwithstanding the fact that I actually took ill on the 27th of December from coming home from spending Christmas in Venice. My husband and I were both unwell on our return. I went on to become more ill and I never really fully recovered from that before getting the classic COVID cough on the 30th of March. Now makes us wonder whether there's a link, whether we've picked up COVID in Italy at Christmas. Maybe a milder form, maybe a different strain. It's difficult to know. But the bottom line is I've basically been ill without much respite since 27th of December. So it's been a tough old road. And we've just found out that our holiday to Ibiza has been cancelled, which kind of is a good thing because I'm not really well enough to be travelling. There's restrictions there, there's the risks, there's the quarantine when we get back. So all in all, it wouldn't have been a holiday we would have wanted, having had a fantastic time there last year. But it's gutting to not be able to just escape everything and sunbathe and swim in the sea and sit on the beach and watch the sunsets and enjoy the dance music and good food and drinks, etc. And to just spend 2 weeks bonding and chilling out together, the pair of us. But that's life. Everybody's having to miss out on so much at the moment, so it is what it is. So for now, I'm trying to enjoy what bit of sunshine we still have here in the UK, and hoping that this recovery from the lumbar puncture aftermath will slowly but surely ease up. I've not had any of more of the sudden onset headaches since, which is also a really good thing. So that's massively positive. And I've been a lot worse, but I've also been a lot better. But it's all about taking the wins. It's all about trying to maintain positivity, to practice self-care and self-love, recognise what your body needs and just roll with it and do what you can to help yourself get better and just give your body a chance and that space to recover. So that's what I'm trying to do at the minute. So I shall check in with everybody soon and hopefully be back to a brighter, healthier state so we can actually start looking at some of the various treatments, etc., individually and explain a little bit more about what that involves. I know from my Facebook groups with the long haul COVID support groups that I'm involved in that quite a few people have already looked into the pairing technique, which I shared some time ago, as a way of helping people maybe detoxify their bodies a little bit. So I know people are having a lot of success and are pleased with that. So that's something that we'll definitely talk about more and go into. And also the GUPT program, which I've also mentioned before. So as I said in my previous post, I'm hoping to just take one individual treatment at a time and post about that in more detail. So watch this space. If this continues, I will just at least keep checking in with a few updates just to let you know how I'm travelling. So we'll see. So thanks for watching once again. Click the like if you like what you've seen and heard. Hopefully something may resonate. You know, it might just be that somebody watches this and is feeling a bit rough with COVID symptoms, long haul, has had a lumbar puncture, so knows what that's like, suffers with ME, just feeling generally rubbish and just wants to know that there's other people there that are in the same boat and understand and maybe have tips and advice that might help in the future. So subscribe if you want to, like if you want to, but thanks for watching. Speak soon.